This is where we chop it up. This is Crypto with Kamal.
Welcome to another edition of Crypto with Kamal. I'm your host, Kamal Hubbard, coming to you from our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., at the illustrious Howard University campus, where we are at the 6th Annual Black Blockchain Summit. I'm here on behalf of ICP.Hub North America. They are a major contributor to the Internet Computer Protocol in the United States and Canada. And I'm here with none other than Eric Gutherie, Esquire. He's the guy that I will call when I need to get bailed out of jail. So, Eric, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your book, Blockchain or Die?
Thanks, Kamal. My name is Eric Gutherie. I've been practicing law for way too many years. I've been practicing law in the blockchain crypto space for about 7 years. So I was actually one of the early attorneys to get involved in this space. I'm the author of the book, Blockchain or Die. You can see it on my shirt. You can see it in the book right here. It's on sale at Amazon. The ebook is on sale at Amazon for 99 cents. So if you want to buy a version that you don't want to spend too much money on, I recommend you buy it there. But I recommend you buy 10 and give 9 away so you can share the knowledge with your family and friends. You're giving away the knowledge of the future. I'm an attorney at a law firm called the Cogent Law Group. I'm actually a partner in the Cogent Law Group. And I have my own global consulting and training company called Better Me, Better We, where we better ourselves and we better others. I've trained in 15 different countries in person. I trained more virtually. So it truly is a global company. And I'm getting ready to publish the second version of Blockchain or Die, which we published later on this year, which has a lot of updates that were not in this book because it was published in 2019. And a lot has happened since then.
Yeah.
So NFTs, metaverse, level 2 blockchains, all the buzzwords, you will find those, including some really cool news stories about crypto and blockchain. You'll find those in the next version of Blockchain or Die.
Well, so what led you to write this book? I mean, it's pretty dire warning. Either we're gonna live by blockchain or die without it. So what brought on this prepper mentality and adoption of blockchain adoption?
Right. So, I mean, it's a little artistic, interpretation, right? I mean, you're not going to die, but look at it this way. Do you do anything now in life without the internet? Now, if you were talking about the internet back in the late 90s, early 2000s, people were doing plenty of things without the internet. Still using Yellow Pages, still publishing on business cards, and still doing things in areas that we do now, everything on the internet. So, what I mean by blockchain or die is I mean that this is technology, cryptos and blockchains, that are going to be used more and more in the future. For companies that adopt it, for companies that make it part of their business model, they're going to thrive. And companies that won't, well, they're going to be in serious trouble. And we have seen examples where companies didn't adopt to the evolving technology and no longer in existence. For example, Blockbuster Video. You know, as soon as Netflix came around and started emailing the DVDs out to homes, we didn't need Blockbuster or Hollywood Video. And I mean, that's just 2 examples. Radio Shack, when we started mailing things, getting mail from electronics companies for our parts and services, we didn't need Radio Shack, and they went out of business. So we've seen companies that died because it did not evolve. Blockchain or die is a way to say you should choose to evolve, otherwise you may be choosing to die.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially within our community too, there is an opportunity right now at this early adoption phase for us to embrace this technology and leverage it to hopefully close the racial wealth gap, in my opinion. And that's why I wrote this book, DeFi for the Diaspora. And also, while I have it held up here, I'd like you to have a copy of my book.
Well, thank you. I'm going to keep mine on. Keep it good.
And I get a copy of Blockchain or Die. See, I like the cooperative economics here. This
Absolutely.
is an early Kwanzaa gift, and I appreciate it.
There you go.
I'm going to read it on the way home, but I think in the spirit of all this, everyone here is so passionate, and we just have the best and brightest of blockchain here. I feel like it's in many ways like a family reunion, because you get to see old folks that you always see at various conferences, but then you get to see new family, and it's been a real pleasure getting to meet you here and understand what you're doing. Obviously admire everything, all the research that went into your book, all the expertise that you bring to a text like this as a practicing attorney who's been working hard for several years. So that said, you mentioned something in your panel about an upcoming law that people should know about that I think you should share with our viewers as well. Why don't you talk about what you shared earlier?
So, thanks, Kamal. The law is called the Corporate Transparency Act, and called the CTA. And if you own a company that you have registered with a state, any state in the U.S., whether it's an LLC, a C Corp, an S Corp, or a DBA, or doing business as, the federal government, specifically Treasury, specifically the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, what we call FinCEN, is going to require you to file with FinCEN about your business you filed with the state. Now, what does that mean? That means that you have to go on the website they provide, and you have to enter in your company name, all the owners. You have to enter in your EIN number or your tax ID number. You have to enter your address. And this is designed to curb back or hopefully eliminate what is called KYC AML issues, know your customer, anti-money laundering. They're trying to reduce money laundering by small companies. They're already really enforcing it heavy with large corporations and big organizations, but the small businesses were kind of falling through the cracks when it comes to enforcement. Well, this is the way to proactively provide that enforcement effort. So you have until January 1st, 2024, if you are a company that already filed with a state before then. If you file, you have 1 year to comply with that. If your company is filed with the state after January 1st, 2024, you've got 30 days. That's it. Now, you may be wondering, well, gee, what's the big deal? If I don't file, I don't file, there's no problem. Well, there is some teeth to this law. If you do not file within your time frame, you can be charged $500 per day that you do not file or that you file incorrectly. That's number one. Number two, if they find you criminally liable for not filing, you can pay $10,000 or spend 2 years in jail. So my advice is to make sure, if you own a LLC, C Corp, S Corp, or DBA, to go online, go to FinCEN, and file as soon as you can. And if you're going to file a DBA or any kind of corporation, make sure you file it before January 1st, 2024, so you can have that extra year. If you file January 2nd, 2024, you've got 30 days.
Wow, so that's real crucial information. And any business, right? If someone says, hey, I'm just a sketch artist who does this on Venice Beach every now and then. I got incorporated because the police kept busting me.
Right.
Now they have to do this. So
if they're filed with their state, yes.
Well, so that's some news everyone can use right about now. And as I mentioned earlier on in the program, I'm here with the Internet Computer Protocol with the ICP.Hub in North America. A little bit earlier, I believe that we had a conversation about ICP. You had some pretty positive things to say. Did you not?
I did.
All right. So why don't you share maybe some of your thoughts with the audience at home about your thoughts on ICP?
Well, any organization that puts out information about technology to the community, in my mind, is a fantastic organization. Why? Because education and training is so important. And that knowledge, that information could be used to change lives. It could be used to make lives better, especially for our community. So ICP definitely ticks all those boxes. Not to only mention the fact that, putting out the coding components and the components of the more advanced technology, which we're even more sorely missing in, is extremely important. So, again, it ticks those boxes as well. So in my mind, it's something that everyone should at least know about. If not, they should be using it in some way, because there's only positive benefit, and not only from a knowledge standpoint, but if you use it properly, monetization also is a major component it could be used for. A lot of folks that are in the blockchain space, quite frankly, they haven't figured out how to monetize it yet. But I'll tell you what, coders are one way, and programmers are one way that you can monetize your blockchain crypto efforts, because they're in high demand, extremely high demand. They are paid more than coders that don't know the coding for blockchain and cryptocurrency platforms. So, get in now, and 10 years from now, the sky's the limit for you when it comes to being able to get a job and get an extremely high paying job.
Absolutely. Yet another reason why people who look like us in our community should be embracing blockchain technology, not so they can trade crypto and become a crypto millionaire, but to actually have a career path on the technical end of all this. Mm-hmm. And so I know there's a lot of people who are technically inclined, and this is a pathway. In fact, with the Internet Computer Protocol, they have a self-taught, self-driven course where you can learn how to build smart contracts on the ICP network. I will put that information in our description. But something else I wanted to ask you, Eric, you're a leader with the Government Blockchain Association, correct? GBA. Yep. Mm-hmm. Can you tell folks at home what GBA is and what their objectives are?
So the Government Blockchain Association is a 501c6 organization here in the Virginia, DC area. And what we do is we align private sector and government/public sector to try and create arrangements, trainings, communications, so they can understand each other. Blockchain technology will not achieve full user adoption, user interface, until governments use it. And why is that? Because so many things we do with the government control so much of our lives that it only be one portion unless governments adopt it. So, for example, nowadays you can go online and pay your taxes online, and that's a yearly thing. You can actually register your car online, and California is looking to do a blockchain car registration platform. Other things you can do online: get marriage licenses. You can apply for your for any aid if you need any aid for Social Security or Medicaid or Medicare. A lot of that has an online component. So, Government Blockchain Association is providing the education and the communication and the partnership, not just with the U.S. government, global governments. Okay, I mean, I've been on calls with governments from all over the world, from Europe to the Middle East to Africa. And we provide that service, we provide that option, so that way, when they do decide to do something with blockchain technology, they have the experts, at their fingertips, and they can make the better decisions. Because the worst thing a government can do is make a bad blockchain product or service. No one uses it, it fails miserably, and then they have a sour taste in their mouth and never try again. Where, if they did it properly the first time and it was successful the first time, it would be a great benefit to the government and those citizens.
Yeah, well, that's great. I mean, what we need more blockchain integration with the public sector. Yeah. Personally, I mean, where I see a use case is with government contracts, right? Mm-hmm. Prompt pay. How do we know if contractors are getting paid promptly from the government side, and then their subcontractors who rely on those payments to keep their businesses alive?
Right.
Why not use a blockchain for something? They
should.
Like that?
The government contracting system is a red tape menagerie.
Yeah.
I mean, it is so much, and there's so many people employed to do that, where you can just put it in a blockchain with a smart contract system,
Right.
and have it streamlined and much
Absolutely.
easier, and it's much more verifiable and it's much transparent.
Absolutely. I can't say too much more about that because, that's what I do in my 9-to-5 job. And I want to keep my 9-to-5 job, even though, I enjoy crypto, but I enjoy having a 9-to-5 job too, especially after
Gotta pay the bills,
2018,
right?
Full-time crypto ain't cutting it anymore, but things can change. Who knows? But I still like working for the people, doing regulatory compliance work, but I do like the idea of what the GBA is doing and raising awareness and trying to really break down that wall. I think, really the only people in government, or for a long time at one point, were the regulators who were dealing with crypto, and they're obviously taking a certain approach towards it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now this is a way where, not so much crypto, but blockchain can work with the public sector kind of hand in glove for the common good and for efficiency, right? For transparency. And that's what I'm looking forward to. But that said, I'm going to leave you with the last word, Eric, here. Anything you'd like to share with the viewers at home? I'll let you take us home here.
Thank you, Kamal. So here's the message I have for everyone that's watching this. Get engaged, get involved. The longer it's on the sidelines, the longer it's going to pass you by, and this becomes more difficult to get involved at that point in time. There's plenty of material out there. You've got 2 books right here that you can start with, right? Join organizations. Doesn't have to be a GBA. There's other organizations you can join. I know there's some Black organizations, there's Latino organizations, there's women organizations, all of them in the blockchain space. So you can join and get involved and learn. I will give 2 pieces of advice. If we think about investing in cryptocurrencies, the first one is never invest in anything you do not understand. If you don't understand it, then don't invest in it. Read, understand, research, network, become involved until you understand it. And the second piece is never invest in anything you cannot afford to lose. Okay, there have been plenty of stories, and I've known some people that invested way too much money before the 2001 crypto crash. And what happened? They lost a lot of money they needed. Some of that was retirement money. Some of it was college education money. Don't go down that path. That's a gamble that you should not be taking. Invest what you can afford to lose. If it does great, fantastic. You've done really well. If it doesn't, life will continue to go on, and hopefully your quality of life will not be impacted. So those are my 2 pieces of advice to you. Thanks again, Kamal, for having me on this program. I appreciate you.
Thank you very much, Eric.
Looking forward to reading
Appreciate
your
all
book.
you're doing too. I'm looking forward to reading your book. With that said, don't just make it a good day, make it a great day. A great day with crypto. Crypto with Kamal, and we'll see you on the next one. All right.